This conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the various classes of SQL queries, and we have discussed what exactly a limit class and what exactly all rows class and what exactly order by class and the for update class we have discussed in the previous session. Now, now today we'll see okay few more classes of SQL queries, how to use them. We'll see with the practical. Next class. Now, I will give the notes for this one also here. Okay. Now, the next class will be offset class. Then what exactly the offset class and what is the use? Why should we go for offset class in Salesforce especially? Now let's see. Let me explain the concept. For example, I have an object. So this is my account object. In my account object, I have 100 records. I have 100 records. Now, so now I would like to collect the records from the object here. Whatever the 100 records are available, all the 100 records I would like to collect. So I'm preparing an SQL query. Now this SQL query will collect all the 100 records from the object. Those records we can able to see in the form of a table or structure by placing on a Visual Force page or Lightning component, whatever we can able to place all the records one by one, one by one, one by one. It may be debug log file also, we can able to represent the records. So all the 100 records are getting visible. Whatever the 100 records that we have inside my object, all the 100 records will be visible, okay, on my user interface. But now my requirement is I don't want to show all the 100 records. I want to skip the first 10 records. The first 10 records I don't want. I want to get the records from 11th records onward. From 11th record onwards, I want to collect the remaining records. That means whatever the records that we have in the result set, from that records, I want to skip some specific number of records. Then how many records you would like to skip? You want to skip one record or two records, five records, 10 records, 100 records, how many that we can decide. In that case, if you want to indicate some specific number of records to be skipped from the result set, we can use the help of offset class. So, offset class is used to skip some specific number of records from the result set. Now, so now in this case here, you can raise a question, sir, where we can use this kind of okay offset options. Now, let me explain. For example, let me go to my Salesforce org. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. I'm going to my Salesforce org. I'm going to the classic part, Salesforce classic. Now I have lead object. In my lead object, I would like to see the lead records. Take any of the object, whatever you want, no problem here. Now I'm having this lead object. In this lead object, totally how many records are available? 17 records are available. Total number of records are 17. How many records are visible as of now? 10 records, 1 to 10 records, because we have applied pagination. That means we have specified I want to show only 10 records per page. That's what only the first 10 records are visible inside my user interface. Now, I want to see the remaining records. What can I do? Click on next button. As soon as once you click on this next button, so what records are visible here? 11 to 17. That means first 10 records has been skipped from that result set. It won't show the first 10 records. First 10 records has been skipped from the result set here. Remaining records are visible. Now, when I click on this previous button, how many records has been skipped here? 0. No records has been skipped. It is collecting the records from first records onwards. That means what? Whenever we are applying the pagination, always we have to use two classes mandatorily. First one limit, second one offset. Upon implementing the pagination feature, compulsorily we have to use a limit class and the offset class both, because limit class is used to indicate how many number of records to be visible inside that result set we can see, and the offset class is indicating how many number of records you would like to skip from the result set, to indicate that we are using the help of limit and offset classes. Okay, now, so because it's a common question where you are using this offset class, limit class and offset class both we are using inside that pagination. Upon implementing the pagination or paging feature, we are using the help of this limit and offset class both. Now, let's see. For example, assume that we are representing the records over here in the form of a table. We have the navigation buttons. We have first navigation button, previous navigation button, next navigation button, and the last navigation button. These are the four navigation buttons are available. Now we have given that limit value as 10. Limit value as 10. That means at a time I want to show only 10 records, not more than that. Now, by default here, what is the offset value? 0. Because no records has been skipped. It is collecting the 10 records as it is here. Whatever the first 10 records are available, those records are visible in the form of tabular structure. Those records are visible. Initially, whenever the page is getting loaded, it will show the first 10 records. Okay, 1 to 10. Assume that I'm having 100 records. I'm having total 100 records over here. Out of this 100, first 10 records are visible upon loading the page. When I click on next button, what will happen? Next 10 records. That means what is the limit value? 11 to. Now, in that case here, offset value is what? Limit value is what? Hmm. Which records to which record it is visible? 11 to 20. That means how many records? 10 records. What is the offset value here? 10. That means first 10 records has been skipped from the result set. Okay. Upon click on next button, so now the first 10 records has been skipped. It is collecting the records from 11th record onwards. Next, when I click on next button again, what records will be visible? 21 to 30. How many records are visible? 10. Limit value will be 10. Offset value is what? 20. When I click on next button again, 31 to 40. Now limit value is what? 10. Offset value 30. Now when I click on previous button, what records are visible? 21 to 30. How many records? 10. What is the offset value? 20. That means what? Whenever we are using this limit and offset classes, upon implementing pagination, limit value will be always fixed. It will not get changed. Limit value will be always a fixed. But the offset value will be keep on changing depends upon the navigation button. When you click on next navigation button, it will be keep on increasing. When you click on previous navigation button, it will get decreased automatically. So upon using this pagination functionality, both the limit class and offset class we can use, where limit class will be always a fixed value, offset class value will be keep on changing based on the navigation buttons. Okay, so in that case, how can we use this offset class to skip some specific number of records from the result set? Okay, now let's see. Okay, now make a note of this one. For update class, make a note of this. For update class, by using this class, we can apply the locks and the records while updating with the new values. Now, when the lock has been applied on the records, then other users can't access the records. Other users can't access the records. Once a transaction has been done, Salesforce will release a lock from the records automatically. We can specify SOQL query and then for update. For example, we can specify list of account, LST account equals to select the ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone and the fax, active status from account for update. Now, let's see. Offset class. This class is used to skip the specified number of records from the result set. This class is used to skip the specified number of records from the result set. While implementing the pagination feature, we have to use both limit and offset classes. While implementing the pagination feature, we have to use both the limit and offset classes. Let's see the syntax. SOQL query, offset, we can specify an integer. To indicate how many number of records to be skipped from the result set, we'll see. We'll take a practical use case on this. Write an Apex program to fetch the account records from the object based on the specified limit and offset values at runtime. I would like to pass the limit value and the offset value dynamically at runtime. Based on the limit value we have supplied, it should be fetching only those many number of records. Based on that offset value, it should skip those many number of records. Then how to pass limit value and offset value dynamically at runtime, we'll see with practical.
अब यहाँ पे टैब सर्च करो, गो विद द टैब्स, यहाँ पे आपको टैब मिलेंगे, क्लिक ऑन टैब, ओके, और टैब पे क्लिक करने के बाद अब यहाँ
Done with these points? Now, let's see how can we implement. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. Let me go back to my Lighting experience. I'm going to the developer console. Now, I would like to prepare a method. Public static void get lead records by limit. Now, I would like to pass both limit value and the offset value at runtime. So that I'm passing two parameters. Limit value will be of type what? Integer. Offset value? Integer. Right. Integer, I'm indicating limit value, integer, offset value. So these are the two parameters I'm passing over here at runtime. Based on these two values, I would like to restrict the number of records to be visible, number of records to be skipped from the result set both. Now I would like to prepare an SQL query. List of lead. List leads equals to select the ID of the lead, first name, last name, title, company, status, phone and the fax, email, website from lead. I'm giving this limit value. Limit. Here we can specify this value. Suppose if I'm passing this limit value as some 50, then I want to pass that value over here. Limit 50. So that here we need to specify that colon. Colon notation is used to indicate dynamic assignment. Dynamically at runtime, collect this particular parameter value, substitute the value in this place. Okay. So whenever we are giving the parameter name, we have to specify a colon. Colon indicates it's a dynamic assignment. Dynamically at runtime, it will go to this parameter value. That value will be substituting over here. Like the similar way, I would like to pass offset value also. Offset offset value. Okay. Now we are passing these values over here. So now here in this case we are indicating this. I am preparing an SQL query which is used to fetch the data from the lead object. Upon fetching the data, I don't want to fetch all. I want to fetch only some specific number of records, so that I'm using limit class. And then while fetching the records from the object here, okay, while fetching the records from the object, I want to skip some specific number of records by using this offset class also. Okay, clear? Now, so now let's see. Then remaining records we can able to represent. System dot debug number of records returned. I would like to indicate lst leads dot size. I want to check the condition if lst leads is not empty. Then I would like to iterate for each and every lead record from the collection. I want to show that system dot debug lead record is LD record. Okay, so whatever the classes that we have, for those classes, not only passing the values hard coded, we can pass the value dynamically at runtime as well. Depends upon your requirement, we can pass the value dynamically at runtime. Now here I am going to be using this order by class also. Order by last name. Okay, I'm using order by class. Based on the last name field value, I would like to arrange the records in ascending order. And then from there, I would like to specify the limit value, offset value, both. Okay, now let's see. So let me invoke this method. Get lead records by limit. This is a method just now we have prepared. We have to pass limit value. I'm giving limit value as 50. I want to show 50 records here. Offset value, I'm giving the value as 0. That means skipping 0 records means what? Don't skip any records. Get the records from first records onwards till 50 records. Now click on execute button. Now we can fetch the records from the lead object. So now we have 24 records are available inside my lead object. So all the 24 records has been returned. These are the records over here. Based on that last name field, the records has been arranged in alphabetical order over here. Because first name is not a mandatory field, first name is optional field. So that's what I have used last name field. Compulsorily it is having the value. Based on that last name field, I am going to be arranging the records here. These are the records are available. Total 24 records are available inside my lead object. Now observe this one. In these records, the first 5 records I don't want. As of now, we have given offset value as 0. That means don't skip anything, fetch all the records. Now I would like to skip the records. Now Kristen, I can record I don't want. I don't want Betty Bear, Betta Boxer, Mike Brand, Shelley Brunel. These are the 5 records I don't want. So now, whatever the first 5 records that we have, these are first 5 records I don't want. I don't want these are first 5 records. I want to fetch the records from cotton fillies. Cotton fillies. From these records, I want the records here. First 5 records I would like to skip. I don't want to show all. I want to skip some specific number of records from the result set. I want to skip the first 5 records. In that case, what we can do, just you can go to that method calling here. Here I would like to give the offset value as 5. Whenever I'm giving this offset value 5, it will skip the first 5 records. It will collect the remaining records over here. Click on execute. Select the debug only. Let's see. Out of 24, 5 records has been skipped. Now the 19 records are available over here. Now it is collecting the records from cotton fillies. First 5 records has been skipped from the result set. From that 5 records, those records will not be visible. Remaining 19 records are visible on your screen as it is. Okay, understood the concept here? So depends upon your application requirement, not only fetching the data, limited number of records, we can skip some specific number of records also from the result set. Based on the application requirement, we can pass these values dynamically at runtime as well. Okay, understood the concept now? No. In middle, you can't skip some specific number of records because it will be skipping only the record from the top. From the topmost position, it will be skipping some specific number of records. From the middle, we can't skip. Sorry? Hmm. Right. Hmm. Suppose if you want to fetch only some this specific records here, only this record, then restrict the limit over here. Okay, then remaining records will not be visible to you. But suppose, for example, if you want to skip only these records here, I don't want these records, but we can't do this. Okay, that is a problem because offset class will be skipping the records from the topmost position, not in the middle. Okay,
What about the end? Excuse me, Firoz.
Yes.
As you said, topmost record is going to skip, right? This offset.
Right.
What about end?
And also, it won't specify. It won't skip the
Oh,
records from. Okay. So
oh,
at that time, we have to give the limit class.
okay,
So the
okay.
end record will be skipped.
Mhm.
Clear? Next. Now, make a note of this code. And with this, next. Next one, where class. So what exactly the where class and what is the use? Now let's see. Basically, where class is used to add one or more user defined conditions. As of now, what we did, we have used limit class to indicate how many records should be visible. Now I want to decide what records need to be get visible with the help of where class. Like for example, I want to show only those account records inside my result set whose rating value is equals to warm. Only the warm rating account records I want to fetch. Remaining records I don't want. Sometimes I want to fetch only those lead records whose industry equals to energy. Remaining records I don't want. Sometimes I want only those hiring managers whose designation is recruitment specialist. Sometimes I want only those case records whose priority equals to high and whose status equals to new. That means I would like to add certain conditions, not only one, multiple conditions also we can add. With the help of these conditions, we can filter out the records from the result set. So what records you would like to collect from the object, that we can decide by adding one or more user defined condition with the help of where class. So, where class is used to add one or more user defined conditions along with the SQL query to filter out the records from the result set. Okay. So now in this case, you can raise a question. Already you know, when coming to your Apex programming, we are using if conditional statement. By using if conditional statement, we are writing some conditions, not only one, multiple. If you are writing multiple conditions, we are clubbing the conditions by using logical operators, by using and, or, not. Like the similar passion here also, we can use the help of these logical operators. Through the logical operators, we can club the multiple conditions together to validate the data to fetch the exact records from the object. So in that case, whenever we are using this where class, not only adding one condition, we can add multiple conditions also. That facility is available here. Okay. Now, here two small changes are available. In your normal if conditional statement and in the where class conditions, there are two small changes are available. Let me explain. For example, if it is a normal if condition, we are writing the statement like this. If rating value is equals to hot. In order to compare the equality, we are using double equals. But if you are writing this same condition in SQL query, we have to specify like this, where rating value equals to hot. That means single equals. This is the first change. Now in if conditional statement, we are using double equals for comparison. But in where class, as part of SQL, single equals we are using for comparison. For comparison, we have to use single equals. Okay, this is one change. Next, second one. Here we are writing multiple conditions over here. If condition 1 and condition 2, we are writing two conditions here. Here, whenever if you want to write the same conditions, here we have to specify where condition 1 and condition 2. That means what? Don't use these notations. Here we are using that notation like ampersand symbol. And then here we have to use that word. Don't use that notations here. Now, in order to specify the end, we have to use end. To specify the R, we have to use R. To specify the not, we can use the help of not. Okay, so don't use that notations, use those words and are not in SOQL query. These are the two changes are available here when compared with your normal if conditions. In if condition, to compare a field with a value, we are using double equals for comparison, but in SOQL query, we have to use single equals for comparison. Upon preparing the multiple conditions by using this if conditional statement, we are using the logical operators with the help of these notations. But as part of SOQL query, here also we can use that same notations, but we need to use the help of these keywords. Don't use the notations, use the keywords. Okay, these are the two changes here. So by using this aware class, we can add one or more number of conditions with the help of logical operators, which are used to filter the records from the result set. Instead of collecting all the records from the object, what records you want that we can fetch based on by adding one or more user defined conditions as well. Okay, clear? Now make a note of this one. By using this class, we can add one or more user defined conditions to be used to filter the records from the result set. Now, we can add multiple conditions. We can add the multiple conditions by using logical operators. With the help of logical operators, we can combine the multiple conditions together and are not. Now, the syntax. SOQL query, we can specify where conditions. For example, we can specify where rating equals to warm, where industry equals to finance, where annual revenue greater than or equals to 45 lakhs, where email address not equals to null, like that. Now, suppose if we want to add multiple conditions, where billing city equals to Mumbai and active status equals to yes, where industry equals to manufacturing or industry equals to some finance. Like that, multiple conditions also we can able to add. Done with this? Now, in this case, let me explain one more small point over here. Whenever we are preparing the conditions, we are giving this value through hard coded format. We have hard coded these values here. Like as rating should be equals to warm, industry equals to finance, active status equals to yes, billing city equals to Mumbai. Like that, we are hard coding these values. So whenever we are using this where class, whatever the values are available for these conditions, these values we can pass dynamically at runtime as well. Instead of giving some hard coded values, we can pass these values dynamically at runtime as well. That facility is available as part of this where class. Okay, now make a note of this one. While preparing the conditions by using where class, we can pass a value for the condition dynamically at runtime with the help of parameters. Through parameters, we can pass these values dynamically at runtime as well. Done with this? Now, let's see. How can we prepare this SOQL query? Now, let me show you. So, let's write some small SOQL queries first. Only the query part is enough for us. Okay? Now, take a small use case. Write an SOQL query to fetch all the finance industry lead records from the object. So whatever the lead records available inside my object, I want to fetch all the lead records whose industry is equals to finance. Remaining records I don't want. Now tell me, how can we write this query? List of what? Lead. LST leads equals to select ID of the lead, first name and the last name, company, title, status, industry. From lead object, where industry equals to finance. That's it. So upon preparing this query, we can able to use the help of this where class also to filter the records. So what records to be visible inside my result set, that we can decide by adding this user defined conditions. Done with this? Next. Take one more. Write an SQL query to fetch all the active user records from the object. So whatever the user records are available, which are in active status, I would like to fetch only those user records. Now, tell me how to write that query. List of users. Now tell me what is the query. Select ID of the user, first name of the user, last name, company name, title, username is active. That means to check whether the user is in active status or not, we have a field called as is active. From user, where is active equals to true. Right, exactly. Because is active is a boolean field. We have to pass true or false. Done with this? Next, one more. Write an SQL query to fetch three energy industry account records. To fetch three energy industry account records. How many classes we have to use? Two classes. What are those two classes? Where class and limit class. Right.
Mm.
Now tell me, upon using this where class and the limit class both, which class we need to write first? Where class should be first, then we have to use limit class. Right. List of account. LST accounts equals to select the ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone, comma active underscore underscore C from account object where industry equals to energy limit 3. Write one more query. Write an SQL query to fetch all the high priority new case records from the object. Write the query for this. I want to fetch high priority new cases. Done with this? Now, list of case. Select the ID of the case, status of the case, priority, type, reason, origin, subject from the case object. Tell me the condition. Where priority equals to high. Okay. Hmm. Status equals to new. Right. These are the two conditions, not only one, multiple condition. That's what I have given all high priority new case records. So whatever the case records are available, whose the priority equals to high and the status equals to new, those case records were collecting from the case object. Next one. Write an SQL query. Write an SQL query to fetch only deleted lead records from the object. Whatever the lead records are available, which are deleted, only deleted lead records I want. Remaining records I don't want. Is deleted equals to true. Okay. Okay. Any more thing? Any more thing? Inside the query, we are using a condition where is deleted equals to true. Okay, fine. Then I want one more class. One more class. I want to get the deleted records. To get the deleted records, what class we need to use? to get the deleted records. All rows class. So whenever we are fetching the data from the recycle bin, so now in that case we have to use all rows class also. That means upon using all rows class, what it will do, it will collect the data from the object as well as from the recycle bin also. Both the records it will collect. From that one, what records I want? Only deleted records. So we are applying the condition where is the deleted equals to true. From these records, please collect only those records which meets this condition. So that here we can fetch only the deleted records from the object. Now, list of lead. List leads equals to select ID of the lead, first name, last name, email, phone, title is deleted. From lead object where is deleted equals to true, all rows. Done with this? Now. So this is how we are going to be using where class to add the conditions. But here as of now what we did, whatever the condition we have prepared, for this condition this value we have hard coded. Instead of hard coding this value, how to pass this value dynamically at runtime, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see how to pass these values dynamically at runtime. And then tomorrow I'm going to discuss about two more new important classes, that is in operator, second one like operator. These two are very very important. We are using these two operators in most of the cases in the real time implementations. Then what is in operator, what is like operator? Basically these are not classes, these are part of where class. Inside the where class only we can use these two, not in other classes here. Then what is in operator, what is like operator, how to use them, what is that syntax, we'll see one by one in tomorrow's session. Okay. Clear up to this one? Now. So do the practice on these features today. Tomorrow we'll see how can we use that in the like operator. Those two are very, very important. Don't miss that part. Thank you.